Woke daughter? Okay, interview over now. It different. We gonna wrap it up, close it out. Close it out, daughter. Do it different. I wanna ask you one more thing, or a couple more things before we close out. That was cool on the yellow stuff. How did you feel about so FYB JMane, you've known him for how many years now?
Like 7.5.
About 7.5 years. So when you met him, he was getting that big 63rd, correct?
No.
What he was getting?
It wasn't a big nothing. It was FYB JMane.
Okay, cool. But he was from 63rd, correct?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I done picked him up. I done picked you up from over there several times before.
Okay,
Like.
so my question is, what I'm leading into is being when you being a Chicago native yourself, and for this guy to claim 63rd, then 7.5 years later, you heard him get on the internet getting that Lil Durk signed me, and I'm OTF JMane. How did you feel? Because the internet JMane took the internet in the up, like the internet was on the uproar. Being a woman in the same household, being pregnant, like how was you dealing with the OTF JMane, and how did you look at that? Like, did you feel like he traded on his hood? Like, how did you feel about the whole OTF JMane character? And then when he just started doing the positive and then speaking to say the youth stuff, like, how did you look at the whole situation in its entirety?
We was annoyed because she was in my stomach, so we was annoyed. We were really annoyed, and that's only because it's like, be who you are. Like I always tell him in the first place, like, your credibility is everything, but the internet is the internet, and y'all feed this man so hard, it's like impossible for him to not make it make sense. When so for me it was like, okay, I got the concept of it, and then it was just like all the way from the chips, the like, what else did you, the skits, the chips, what else did you end up doing? The chain in general. Mm-hmm. It was like, throw it away.
So
find it. Take it back to wherever you got it from, because it was like, that's every day that I woke up for however long it was going, it was like, oh, you doing it again. Like, oh, you just came up with something else. Oh, Durk sent you. Now you done did a song. Then your page got took, so it never ended. It was like, I'm getting phone calls. I'm getting people asking me.
Right, because that was real viral. Because everybody who I know personally said, bro, you got people calling me. Yes. So how many people called you about OTF JMane?
It was my siblings called, my cousins called.
And what were the questions like?
Did he really sign to OTF? And am I still pregnant? Am I on top of a hill? Do I have a house? And he has one. Because it was to the point to where, yes, everything is y'all. The couch is gone. That situation. What else was you doing at that time? It was just, everything was like, for me to know exactly who he is. And I can't even say that I know everything about who he is, because I don't. So I'm learning as y'all finding out information as well. I'm learning different things that this man done forgot to tell me, or certain things didn't work out with whatever it is on how the story play out. But when I met him, was this going on? No. Mm-hmm. was he like over having to say what gang he in or all of that stuff? It was like, no, it wasn't rocket science for a person like me from Chicago. Mm-hmm. I know I'm not going at O Block to pick this man up. Right. It was like, but at the same time, did he put me in them situations? No. Mm-hmm. It was like, all right, if I'm gonna pick him up, I'm picking him up from somewhere near and dear, and it's like, oh, why you was over here? Or it's earlier in the daytime and ain't me coming over there to get him, and it's nighttime, and just situations that could play out real dangerous for both of us.
So JMane never put you in those type of situations? It hit different.
Nope. Neither one of my baby dads ever put me in a situation, and nor have I ever tried to put myself in the situations either. And that's the type of woman that I am. It's like you got some women that's trying to ride or die to the end of times and be like, babe, my wheels are a little tired. I be ready to go in the house.
Cool. The closing last question. One of the biggest questions I want, because you felt real strong about this.